getting closure overrated? What does getting closure mean? It means getting answers, reasons, clarity, and understanding about why something has transpired. It is important to get closure because, as humans, we oftentimes want and need things to make sense so that we have an understanding. And when we have an understanding, we feel better prepared. We know how to respond accordingly, including what decisions to make and what coping mechanisms to implement to deal with the situation properly. Having closure can reduce anxiety, stress, and worry, and help us with acceptance of what we cannot change or control. Not having closure causes unanswered questions and ambivalence, which leads to catastrophic thinking and thought ruminations. But what happens when we don't get closure? Either because the person doesn't give it to us or because they can't give it to us for whatever reason. Then what? In this case, we're left to get our own closure, but we must do so by prioritizing facts and truth over feelings, and by trusting our intuition no matter how harsh or painful the realization is. But when we get closure, does it always give us understanding, contentment, alleviate our stress? Absolutely not. Oftentimes, knowing can create more questions and stress, and the answers we receive may not make sense to us, leading us to not accept them, which only worsens the distress we already feel. So if you demand closure, really think about what it is that you want to know or find out, and be prepared to either not receive answers or receive answers that may not make sense. And know that the more you find out, the more you may want to know, and the more you may be unwilling to accept what you know because you don't like what you hear. And this becomes a never-ending cycle of questioning and confusion, which keeps your anxiety, stress, frustration, and distress elevated. So should we seek closure? You should absolutely seek closure, but it's important to define your definition of closure. Ask yourself the important questions such as, what are you seeking? What is it exactly that you're hoping to gain? And if you receive what you're seeking, does it or will it change the situation? And always remember that sometimes the people we want closure from can't or won't give it to us. Perhaps they don't have the answers themselves, or they may want to keep you connected to them for selfish reasons. And sometimes we think or feel we need it from others when we actually can get it from ourselves. The closure comes from facing and accepting the reality of the situation, even if you don't like it. It comes from changing your thinking and your language, which means the way you think about and talk about the situation. You want to move from problem focus to solution focus. Getting closure also comes from not looking to or waiting on anyone else to give us answers. Instead, we get our own answers. And not by being demanding or playing detective. We get our own answers by facing and accepting the facts and truth of the situation, by accepting what we don't like and accepting what we don't understand, and by reaching our own conclusion. And the conclusion should be based on fact, truth, and reality, not your feelings and not assumptions. And for coping and healing, the conclusion should also be framed or processed in a healthy and helpful way. And again, even if the conclusion is based on hard truths, including things about yourself, you must be willing to accept it and process it using a growth mindset, not a condemned, self-deprecating mindset. So don't wait on others to give you closure. Take your power, dignity, and respect back, and don't allow anyone to keep deceiving, manipulating, using, or abusing you. And even if the person is genuinely confused or struggling, And this is why they can't give you closure. You still don't have to live your life in limbo. And especially when the person is being lazy, showing low effort, not taking accountability, and not making moves towards real change and growth. So always be willing to get your own closure.